It's a great Saturday rainy afternoon here in Manila, and today is May 23, 2020. And welcome you guys to our Saturday episode of our Daily Stock Market Insights, where we talk about your favorite stocks in the Philippines. And today we are going to cover the following. As you can see on my screen here, we are going to go through them one by one. And just in case you'd like to request some more stocks to be reviewed, I will do that if you comment down below, and I shall record another one for a part two of this stock market insights. Okay, so don't hesitate to comment down below, and of course, hit the subscribe and the notification bell so that you are always updated whenever I have videos. In the meantime, so let us start. Let's talk about PSEI. As you can see here, looks like this MA20 line is being respected by the market. This is currently our short-term resistance at the moment, and it's having a difficult time breaking that. As we go near the MA20 line, there is a gravity pulling the price lower. And so I say, please be extra careful because we might see some more declines in the coming days for our stocks in the index. So as you see, this is PSEI, meaning all the uh, top 30, I think 30 plus companies here in the Philippines represent the index. Okay, so let's take a look at them. And this time I've just outlined the trending stocks in investograms because these are the stocks that are highly talked about at the moment. So let's take a look at Dito. Okay, for Dito, same thing. You have your short-term resistance here, and what happened is that as we touch this level, there's a rejection that's happening. So that is the area. And look at this. There was even a small wick that almost touched the area, and there's rejection right away that happened. So I will not be surprised if on Monday you will have some more declines. Okay, so there's even a possibility that our MA20 line can be broken there. If I am to plot the next support here, this area will be tested first around that level. That is the support level that I see that will be tested. Let us see if it will bounce in that area, but I will not be surprised if that will be broken and it'll continue dipping. And in case it goes lower than that, this is the next area to watch out for, 1.78 level. Next would be tech. As for tech, same. This is a sign of weakness that we have right here, and so if it declines, next stop to monitor would be your 7.40 level. You have your resistance build up here. This one is not exactly on the line that we have plotted, but it's very near that area, so we still consider that as a significant area to monitor. So your previous resistance, which is this one, and this one as well, considerably, that will now become your support because we managed to break out of that and we're retesting that at the moment. So be extra careful. If you want, you can wait for a green candlestick to come out around that level to confirm a bounce. What about JFC? JFC as well has a significant volume on selling here. And what's scary is that this is about to trigger your lower Bollinger Band. So while it's true that I personally am a fan of this stock, this might continue to drop and most likely revisit your previous areas. So number one, 109.95, it's not impossible to revisit that. So if you want to add more volume, then wait for it to touch that level before you add some more. PXP. As for PXP as well, it's a sign of weakness, and it's it's possible that we are going to revisit your MA20 line, which is your support. Notice for the past few weeks, the movement of this stock highly respects your MA20 line. See that? As it moves higher, your support area is also moving a little bit higher and following that trend line over there. So this one over here. There's a slight overshoot for 2 days here, but definitely overall it has been respecting that. So just in case it goes down, because there's a significant increase here previously, it's just going to retest most likely. My thoughts here is that this will retest your previous support, so I would always draw this, right? When there's a breakout play, it goes higher, retest on the previous resistance, will now create a support, can go sideways first before it continues to move up. That is a possibility. Overall, the sentiment here is between this breaking all the way down comparing to this bouncing. I see a bigger potential in the bounce to the upside compared to a breakdown, because I think if it breaks down, which is not that far as of yet, next drop would be 3.75. So I'm talking about long-term investors here, right? Um, if you are going to invest, talking about 5 to 10 years on average, this level, which is of course ideally you want to catch it at the bottom, right? But it's so impossible to be 100% accurate. So a slightly higher in terms of price would already be okay, considering that you let it stay there for a long time, right? Guys, I think personally I've already set my expectation that um, we are going to have this setup. The pandemic is not going to go away anytime soon. Therefore, you might expect, I am expecting, that the movement of the market will just be within this range. Wherever we are right now, it'll go higher, but in a lot of occasions, it'll revisit that because people are just being careful. Once they hit a resistance area, they take profit, and then price will go down. And then when it reaches, so I think we'll just be moving in a range. Okay, so some stocks do high ranges, right? Like big climb and then dip. But for this particular stock, I feel that we might even have sideways first. But I think this is already the brand new support. If it breaks that, then we'll just go back to the previous support, which is already for me a bottom for this stock. All right, so there you have it. Oh, let me just add here Cebu Pacific and PAL. SECB. Okay, SECB, I'd say let us be extra careful. This broke, right? It broke the MA20 line and it is still continuously dipping. Remember here, it broke that. Okay, and we're still triggering the lower Bollinger Band for this stock. Although we are already at the over sold level, but look at that. Let me see. It's slightly higher though than the previous point. While this stock was moving downwards, okay, your RSI is already starting to show some recovery, giving us a slight momentum. We are still at the oversold area, but again, don't catch a falling knife. That's what they say. This stock is still trending downwards, so we have to wait for that confirmation of a bounce. Ideally, what we want to see is a green candlestick engulfing the previous day's red. Meaning, when you say engulfing, this means that this next day, for instance, should be higher than this previous day's red. Okay, so who knows? It could be in a few days' time, because your RSI is already giving us advanced signals, but don't be too complacent because sometimes it takes weeks, right? Like for this stock, the formation of your RSI is already um, bullish divergence, like it's already giving us momentum, but it's been weeks now and it's declining. So just be extra careful with that. So we just be want to be a little conservative by waiting for that green engulfing candlestick to confirm that bounce. Double Dragon. Okay. Double Dragon has already broken out of the resistance. Okay. So if it is going to move up, I just feel that, because this has been a significant time for those people who have already invested right at this level, it's already a significant increase in the price. So I feel that some of them will take profit and then we'll give the others a chance to enter at a cheaper price, which is for me 17.11 is an okay price considering the potential. But mind you guys, you have to do your assignment because I don't have was not able to look at the fundamentals and the financial condition of the company. So go ahead and take a look at that. We're only studying the chart. Whatever I say here right now is based on what the chart is telling us. Okay. Another key here is that this is already overbought level, so I will not be surprised if some people will take profit. So go ahead and try to haggle and negotiate, catch it around 17.11 if it does not break that. Hopefully it just bounces right away. Mac. As for Mac, um, there was just this, I think this here is just a slight breather because we're moving downwards. But for me, I'd say downtrend looks like downtrend is not over yet for this stock. There was a history of this one, like this over here. It managed to bounce, but it did not sustain. Okay, right now your MA20 line is acting as our resistance. Okay, so first see if it'll when it revisits this level, let us see if it bounces right there. Otherwise, um, stay away for now. Okay, stay away for now if it breaks the 3.36. But let's say on Monday, my take is just don't take action yet because I see some more declines. And if it touches 3.36, then that's the time we discuss once again. Okay. BDO, yeah, BDO has breakdown in price. Okay, look at this. Now at the 89 level. Let us see if it will manage to bounce at that area or it continues to dip. And let's see if it will respect 85.14 here. You're showing us some momentum already here, right? So currently this is where we are at. And then while the price is doing a double bottom, your RSI is already giving us bullish divergence. So this area and this area, okay? So those two areas to closely check out. Okay, so if this breaks, then that's the next drop. That is the next drop, okay? So uh, I think banks are, what about BPI? BPI managed to lift the price, but it's also retracing at the moment. I think this is in a much better condition than BDO right now. But for long-term investors, I'd say I'm not even scared because these are big companies in the Philippine market, and it might take some time. Yes, it might take some time, but the banking system is still for a lot of the banking system or companies here, they're still operational. Okay, they still provide good service. Um, we're just simply migrating the businesses from a face-to-face environment to online banking. And yeah, I think there's still, and for long-term investors, this is just the stage. In fact, all we need to do is just closely monitor the chart and find our entries. But overall, this is already a good opportunity to catch these stocks on a discount. Okay, we are currently on a discounted price. Just find our entry price. I know some of them are dipping down, experiencing breakdown in price, but some of them are already starting to recover. And I'd say between BDO and BPI, BPI currently has a better looking chart compared to BDO. Okay, so if it will retrace, BPI over here might just drop at the 60.28 level and then continue to move upwards. Okay, so that's our sentiment at the moment. Let's take a look at SSP. SSP also is at the resistance area. Okay, you're sitting at the ceiling, meaning it's like a roof. When it touches that, there's rejection. You cannot go through it. But I'm not saying it will not break eventually. But when there's enough volume, which right now, just okay volume, but we're not 100% sure if it will do a gap up, but if it will start at 1.37 or moves higher than that, then you have a brand new support there. Your previous resistance will now become your support. Something like what I drew earlier, it will move a little higher and retest that support and then continue to move up. Now, if it breaks that price level, so 134 for instance, because I see that this is a bearish candlestick, um, it might dip and first it'll challenge your MA20 line. This is your resistance area previously, this one as well here, and when it drops it might just do something like this. Okay, and then do that if it does not break the MA20 line. But if it breaks, then of course you have to plot again, where could it possibly drop. Next area would be your previous resistance, previous support. There's a resistance here as well. So those are your key areas to monitor: 1.10, 1.24, and then of course let's see if it will break your resistance at 1.37. MAC. Already did MAC. Already did MAC. What about URC? URC here right now, we crossed the lower section of our MA20 line. So that, what does that mean for us? So you have your MA20 line over here, and now that we have crossed that, your MA20 will now become your resistance. That means there's a big possibility that price will be pulled downwards even more. And where could it possibly go next? This area. Okay, and I bet you already know why I'm plotting it there. Okay, if you're saying because of this, then you are correct. There was a price consolidation that happened on the weeks of April 20th, right? That particular week, price has been consolidating at that range. So if we are going to go down again, that will be the next area that it will test, and then before it moves up, we could bounce at that area, in other words. Okay, so just wait. I know some of you find this stock really attractive already overall as an investor, but I know we can still haggle at a much cheaper price. So 117 for me is an ideal entry. There is, by the way, a um, dividend release. There you have it. So if you want to get the dividend from this stock, um, the goal there is, you by the time May 27 comes, even on the first minute, first 30 minutes, for instance, first minute of that day, for as long as the system sees you owning this stock, then you are already included in the release, which is payment date June 26, 2020. If you feel like going out or exiting on the 27th of May, you are still fine for as long as the system sees you at the first minute of that day owning that stock. So within the day, you can already exit if you feel like exiting. Meg. Let's see Meg. Meg over here. Promising result. Crossing the MA20 line. And let us see if it'll break and continue to move higher this time. Okay. So there's a 3.8 million foreign buying. So let us see if it will continue to move higher. Okay, for now, let's just use the MA20 line as our support level. So that's around 2.59 level. That is the area to watch out for. Okay. Hold on just a sec. Check. I already did that. What about MWIDE? For MWIDE, I don't feel good, but it still respects your area of support, which is 5.05. That is the support level that we have there at the moment. So while it's true that it is already very cheap, there was even a breakdown of a previous low over here, but your RSI is already moving up. Just wait for that green candlestick to come out, engulfing the red one. One thing I can say, there's a big possibility that we're very near that day because look at the body of these two candlesticks. It's way smaller than the previous days. Notice, same here as well, right? As you go lower, as you reach the bottom, tendency is the body becomes lower or smaller and smaller. What about Cebu Pacific? For Cebu Pacific, we are not safe as of yet. It actually, half of last day's candlestick has already broken the support, right? So you did a double bottom over here, but your RSI is already giving us a bullish divergence there. But I'm telling you guys, there's still a possibility that it can continue to go down. It broke that support that we've created, and it triggered some more your lower Bollinger Band. So don't be surprised. This is just very advanced. What you see here is faster. So we don't know how deep it could get, but let's just monitor. Let's see. This could be a 52-week low over here. So it's scary because when it's really low, we don't know how deep it could get. No, we don't see it. It's an all-time low for this. Okay, that's the challenge. From the time it started to this day, this is the lowest point, and I'm already in the monthly chart. Okay, so before I talk about my insights for transportation or aviation company, let me take a look at PAL, of course. PAL is heading the same direction. This is a bearish engulfing candlestick. The body of we're on a monthly chart, but then again, let's just do that because at the end of the day, we're looking at the overall direction anyway. So you're sitting at a support area on a monthly chart. So every candlestick here means 1 month equivalent. So if that 6 peso level is going to break, then of course we have to plot once again. And I feel that it could even drop some more. See that? There's a chance that it could drop some more. Okay, so what are my thoughts around the aviation company? I would have to say that if we're really at the mercy of when will the vaccine COVID-19 be discovered? When can we cure COVID-19? Because if this will stay for a long time, and mind you, some companies are already way ahead when they think. The other day, no, last night, I was watching Mark Zuckerberg talking about remote work environment because he feels that there is a possibility that this virus is going to stay with us for quite some time, especially because there's really no promising news around the discovery of a vaccine. So, with that said, tourism, gaming, aviation company are the companies that are going to suffer the most. So, just to be conservative, there's a big chance that up until December of 2020, we are still in this situation. So, prepare yourself. If the market is open every single day, what are the chances of it dropping some more? There is a big chance, right? But do we still need, okay, are we still going to recover from this? Yes, of course, we are still going to recover. It's just a matter of time. However, okay, let us say by December, right? By December, we're all cured. I mean, everyone's cured. No more virus. The spending habit or the behavior of the consumers will most likely change. Not they're not going to travel right away. In fact, when they travel, they'd be very careful. And yes, tourism, aviation, and gaming companies, even malls, these areas or these places will be less visited. We already have acquired a new behavior here, right? A new culture. People are more into staying at home. In fact, innovations are coming, helping people manage their day-to-day activities from home, even work, right? Some companies are already preparing for a work from home setup. So if that is the case, then tourism, aviation would really it will take a long time before we could be back to normal in terms of travel and tourism. Okay, so I'd say while it's true that it's cheap, I'd be a little bit conservative in these companies. Okay, I put your buying power in companies that can still run their business during this pandemic. For instance, um, food food companies, right? Uh, I'd say I'm not endorsing, right? But Jollibee, Jollibee is still operational, but look at the price. The price is still very low at this point. But are they going to go bankrupt? No, because they're still operational. So what I'm looking after, I mean, what I am waiting for this company here, I'd be buying some more shares for this stock, but I just, of course, have to marry the concept of technical analysis and fundamental analysis. The chart says no, don't enter yet because it can still drop, but fundamentals would suggest that hey, this company is still operational. We don't have people dining in their stores, right? But they still do deliveries. What else? Um, their pizza. Yeah, the stock is really cheap, but are they still delivering? Do they still operate? Right. But of course, the revenue is way smaller than the regular, during the regular operations. But between the two niche or the two industries, I'd rather go for consumables. consumables that we are still using. I think URC is also good, right? Because they manufacture food that has a long shelf life. But look at the chart now. It's already at a very cheap level. It's not picking up yet. Slowly it is rising, which I appreciate because it doesn't give us a drastic or dramatic increase right away, not a very steep climb, giving people an opportunity to enter. So those are just my thoughts. And I hope I was able to give some insights for you guys today. And if you have other stocks that I have not covered, feel free to drop a comment so I can record another video to discuss your stocks. And if you have not hit the subscribe button yet and the notification bell, I am cordially inviting you guys to please subscribe and like. And yeah, see you again. I hope you watch our next video too. Bye bye for now. Thank you.